Hello and welcome to another PlanetDestiny video. Today I'll be answering a popular community request and give you some tips on how to improve your throwing knife game as a gunslinger hunter. First off, we'll take a look at the loadout that I use to make the most of the throwing knife in PvP. You want to take Knife Juggler because precision kills with throwing knife will immediately reset its cooldown. You're going to be using throwing knife a lot, so anything to give you more throwing knives is going to be even better. If you go with getting precision kills, that's essentially just going to reset your cooldown and give you another throwing knife. The other ones in this tree, Circle of Life, doesn't help you kill anyone with throwing knife. Incendiary Blade, it does help you kill people with throwing knife, but at the same time, it's not that amazing considering that if you just get Knife Juggler, you get one back. So I'd much rather get good at hitting people with precision shots than killing them with the Incendiary Blade damage. The other talent you want to take is Gambler's Dagger, gain additional throwing knife. This is essential. There's a lot of times where you will just plain up miss your throwing knife, so having that backup throwing knife is always good. Or if you kill someone with a body shot, you'll still have another throwing knife to hit someone in the head with. Just combine Gambler's Dagger with Knife Juggler, it works out so well. Now, as far as what weapons I like to use for this loadout, Hawkmoon is my #1 choice. For Xbox users, Timir's Lash is going to be another really good option for you. The reason I like to use Hawkmoon is because 3 rounds will usually do bonus damage. A lot of the time I'm going for a precision headshot and then a follow-up throwing knife, but sometimes you don't always have the time to make sure you hit them in the head, so Hawkmoon will still deal enough damage to the body that a precision throwing knife will still take them out. Plus, Hawkmoon has the chance of doing even more damage with bonus shots, so it just ensures an even timelier death. If you happen to get a Hawkmoon proc and it does 120 something damage to their head, and then you get a throwing knife to the body, you'll still kill them. Or you get a Hawkmoon proc to the body for 111 damage or something. A throwing knife to the body will still kill that person. So it's very useful for this particular playstyle. For my stats, I go very hard into strength. I want my throwing knife to be up constantly during this. So my PvP loadout is usually discipline and strength. Particular armor pieces, Knucklehead Radar. Mainly, you're going to be aiming down sights a lot, so you don't want to lose the awareness of, not having your radar all the time. You're going to be staring at corners a lot to hit someone in the head right when they come around, so you want to have a little bit extra knowledge of where they are using the radar. A lot of people will still use Actiphage Symbiote with this, but personally, the strength you get from Knucklehead Radar plus the radar is just too strong. Okay, now time for the actual tips. In the background, you're going to be seeing a montage of different throwing knife kills that will continue on after I'm done with all these tips. The proper way to do this is to have a hand cannon or other weapon that will do more than 42 damage in a single shot. A shot to the head or body and follow-up knife to the head will end anyone, provided they don't have a shield of some sort on them. Sometimes though, your knife ends up registering on their body, so a follow-up shot from your weapon is going to be required. The first and biggest tip I can give to anyone trying this out is to keep your crosshairs at head height. This playstyle requires extremely quick reaction time on your part, so the less time spent aiming to get that initial headshot off, the better. This will be helpful to other areas of the game as well, especially sniping, but it particularly shines here in this playstyle. Map knowledge is also crucial to this first tip. You'll need to know where your enemy's head will be in relation to where you are. Sometimes a knife can be thrown at much longer distance, provided you know that your enemy is at a low enough health for a headshot to take them out. This requires a lot of practice and just general game sense that can't really be taught. Also, map knowledge will help you get into better situations to do this in. Ideally, you'll want to be in closer corridors or flat areas where it's easier to land throwing knives on someone's head with minimal controller movement. Don't go into a firefight expecting to just dunk everyone in the face with a knife. You almost need to bait people into areas where you have the advantage. Once you get more experience, then you can venture out and get the combo off in other situations. Corners are going to be your friend when learning, since if you bait people correctly, you can get off that headshot and then throwing knife while going back into cover for the kill. Now let's get into how to properly control the throwing knife. First up, it should be noted that I do all of this with the default controller loadout on a 7 sensitivity. Pick a controller setup that works right for you. If you're able to get your throwing knife off quicker with another setup, by all means, use it. Now the first thing most people do wrong is that they wait too long to throw the knife. While you're aiming down sights after the initial shot, for a brief period after you descope your sight, you're still tracking the target's head. It's during this fraction of a second that you should throw the knife. During this time, it's essentially the same as aiming down your weapon's sights, as you gain all the normal accuracy benefits. Waiting too long will cause your knives to fly past your target, or they just won't properly lock on. You'll also see me sometimes flick my sights to the right or left of my target. This is because I'm trying to predict where my target will be during that brief moment while I descope with increased accuracy. If a target is moving straight forward at you, you won't really have to do this, but if you're in an open area, you might have to account for both you and the other player's movement. You really only have to do this though at the larger ranges. At the close to medium range, the knife will move through the air fast enough that you won't really have to take into account any movement. The biggest tip I can also give you is just encouragement and practice. The hardest part about adopting this playstyle is just battling through all the deaths you'll have while getting used to it. Just keep practicing and eventually you'll realize that you've started to land most of the throwing knives. Don't get discouraged either. Sometimes I go a couple games where I just can't get the rhythm down to land my knife, or I keep having to hit follow-up body shots. I hope you enjoyed the tips here. If you already enjoy this playstyle and feel I might have missed something, please post a comment below. I'm interested in hearing what other people have to say about it. This has been Patrick Casey with PlanetDestiny, and I'll just let you guys enjoy the rest of the footage here.